Peppers and Glow. Welcome to today's episode. And today we are gonna talk about I'm engaged. So what should I do from now? Recently got engaged. So what happens, Pam? Um, I know I had promised that I would share why you should hire a wedding planner. However, I was with one of my teams a few weeks ago. They listened to the podcast as well. They were advising me, saying that, Pam, you should stop jumping the videos. You should record like accordingly, like from start to finish. So, and when I was going through my book, here's the book I was talking about in the last video, that I had a book that I wanted to do this long time ago. However, I never just got to record them. I did, however, I never got to go far. So now I want to go back to the original script and share with you a few tips and tricks. I have a few videos here. I had a lot of videos done. I think, can you see? I'm not sure if you can see. I had 4 videos done recording. So now I want to go back, and the today what I want to talk about is engaged now what. So I'm gonna keep my notebook here, and I'm gonna share them with you guys. But let me say what you were saying. So I just thought that it would be appropriate for me to share what you should do. The first step when you get engaged, what should I do? Advice from me as a wedding planner. What should I do? I just got engaged. What should I do next? So here are 5 tips on what to do after you've just gotten engaged. To pick a date or season, right? To pick a date or season, it's easier for all of us. Let me say involved. Let me start with a couple. It's easier to know which season you want to get married in, or the date that you want to get married in, whether you want a winter or a summer wedding, where you want it to be. Will you want it in the north coast? Basically, it's just to pick a date, so it's easier for you to know the time frame that you have, or to know how much time you have to set your budget right, or to prep the money right. It's easier to for you to know that I have the time frame, basically. And it's also easier when you pick, or when you decide to choose your vendors. It's easier for you to know the date that you have, so that they are able to coach you accordingly, or they are able to see whether they're available on the dates that you have chosen. And also, just easier, it makes it easier so that we don't hypothetically speak. Because I've noticed a lot of people would come and be like, oh, I'm getting married in 2025, please send me codes. For example, we at Tofi Designs don't give out, we don't have packages. There are a lot of things that contribute on the prices that we have. However, I know and I understand that there are suppliers with packages, which is understandable because businesses are different. But we don't. So it's best to pick a date. First, one of the first things you should do, pick a date. Pick a date that suits you, considering a lot of things that goes in, considering the north, the heat, your guest, a lot of things to consider when you are picking the date. Number two is to choose, or to decide, set a budget. No? Set a budget, know how much you are willing to spend for that particular day, your wedding day. You know, it's always good to know how much, it's always good to have a budget. For example, I personally don't like when I meet a client and like we don't have a budget. Why I always say you must pick a budget is because it makes it easier, especially after picking your clients. Yeah, I mean your vendors. Yeah? It's always easier, like wedding planner, for example. It's always easier to know how much is your budget, so that we can work around the budget, or work around and within the budget. It's always easier. Hence why I always say pick a budget, know how much you're willing to spend in your on your wedding day, and also how much you have in the savings account, know how much you make from now that you got engaged to the wedding day, how much you're willing to spend without eliminating, considering that you still have a lifestyle that you just to live as well. So it's always advisable to sit with your partner, talk about the funds. It's always important to talk about the funds. Know how much you're willing to spend, how much is too much and how much is too little, and what you're comfortable spending on your wedding day. And that is my second advice as to what to do after you get engaged. The other thing that I would like to advice on, my third tip rather, my third tip would be to pick the guest list. So a guest list is the number of people, for example, you are willing to invite to your wedding, because the number of people, the number of guests that you're inviting to your wedding makes it easier for you to know. For example, this is 250. Let's work with the number 250, for example. So when we meet the decorator, the caterer, who else requires the number of people? Probably the DJ. Those service providers will need the number of guests because that will determine how much they're gonna charge. So I know in Namibia it's where we send an invitation to all and see who comes. Yeah, I know Namibian weddings or bamboo weddings rather. I've seen it mostly with bamboo weddings where people just send out invitation. Whoever comes comes. I know some people don't really get to come due to life, because life is just life, such is life. They might not come, they can RSVP and not come, but at least have an idea, just so that the suppliers may know, and also that this is the number of people we are working in, this is what we budgeted for, this is the amount of people we can afford. If, for example, the venue will ask for the number of people because it will determine of they'll ask for the number of heads because they charge per head when it comes to food as well, the caterer. So you've got to have an idea. Pick your guest list, right? And get the number of people. You don't necessarily have to have the names unless you are RSVPing. And while we are on the guest list, for you to write down the names so that you don't forget your important people. Somebody I know, sometimes we are overwhelmed with a lot of things. We tend to forget important, invite everybody else and not forget the important people, to invite them personally, which I know in most cases some people get offended, and not knowing that the couple sometimes just that they are overwhelmed, that they get to miss a lot of things. They publicly announce or they show without inviting people personally. I know of people who take it to heart. Hence why I say write down the list so you also don't forget your important people or people that you would like them to attend your wedding. The fourth thing on the list would be to pick a theme. Yeah, pick a theme, pick colors, pick ideas that you resonate with, that you like, the ones that you are more drawn to, so that that can be your wedding theme. And if you don't have a wedding theme, because I know some of the couples till 2024 comes to me and say, Pam, I don't know what my wedding theme would be. Help me pick a theme, help me narrow down a theme. And one of the great apps that I could help you with I could share with you, is Pinterest. Go on Pinterest and just type in weddings, for example, wedding themes. Then you search, or just wedding 2024, in 2024 right now. So 2024 weddings. And then you just scroll down and see what you can resonate with. Pin down, create a board, maybe my wedding or so. Create a board and start pinning things that you like. It will help you, and it will also help you better understand, even when you sit down with the wedding planner or your wedding designer, your wedding decorator. It then makes it easier for them to narrow down. Just not necessarily to say this is what I want, but just what resonates with you, so it's easier for them to understand, so that they can take it to other levels. You just share with them what you resonate with, what you like, what you don't like in a wedding, or things like that. It will help you a lot. And another app as well is Instagram. We have a lot of wedding designers, wedding planners, decorators nowadays. You could just go on their pages, the ones that you love their work. Go on their pages and see what they've done. It's not necessarily to pick what they have done before, but just pick and choose and pick and see what you like. Just to go there, just for you to go there and see whether you like just to see what you resonate with, basically, so that it's easier for them to know what you like, to pick from your brain and say, oh, I like this picture, is to find out what exactly do you like in this picture. No, I like the chairs, or I like the flooring, or I like the flowers, I like high, lower arrangements, I like candles more, I like flowers, or no, I don't like, I don't want any candles on my tables. Such things you're supposed to share with the with your wedding planner and yourself. So I would advise you to pick that as well. And then the last thing, tip number 5, would be to hire a wedding planner. I know wedding planners is, for me, as a one of the best wedding investments you can make, not because I am one, but just because they will help you a lot when it comes to your wedding. They'll help you a lot when it comes to your wedding. They will take over basically everything. They'll take over basically everything for your peace of mind. I will share a video. My next video would be as to why you should pick a wedding planner. So stay tuned for that wedding. Stay tuned for that wedding. Stay tuned for that. So stay tuned for that video, because I will share more as to why you should pick a wedding planner. Otherwise, those are my 5 tips on what you should do after you have gotten engaged. Okay, first, pick your wedding date. Pick your wedding date. Set a date, season that you want to get married in. The third one would be to pick your guest list, the number of people you would like to invite for your wedding. The fourth one would be to pick your wedding theme or colors that you would want at your wedding. Yeah, the look and feel of the wedding, the look and feel of the wedding. And the fifth one, to invest in a wedding planner or a wedding coordinator. The difference between a wedding planner is that the wedding planner uh, not only plans, organize, but manage the success of the wedding. And a wedding coordinator is somebody that focuses on the logistics of the wedding. Basically, you plan, they come and coordinate what you have planned. That would be it for today's video. I'll see you guys in my next video, where I will be sharing why you should pick a wedding planner. So I could not record why you should pick a wedding planner before recording what you should do first after getting engaged. So those are my 5 tips on what to do before. Those are my 5 tips on what you should do after getting engaged. Otherwise, that's it for today. I will see you in my next video. Thank you guys for listening to this video till the very end. And for those of you that are listening to the other platforms, thank you so much. I really appreciate the time, the effort, and everything that you're putting to listen to the podcast. And for those of you that are learning, let us learn together, because I'm also learning a lot of things. I am relearning a lot of things as well, which I'm quite enjoying. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.